I attracted a loyal, high-quality girl who stuck by me through a full year of long distance while I was in the military and living in a different continent. And today I'm going to teach you the exact framework I use to attract real love with someone I'm truly compatible with, so you can do the same. My name is Jonny, and I call this framework the compatibility funnel, and I'm going to teach you it step by step. So step one, stage one of the funnel, is physical compatibility. We have to test for mutual physical attraction because looks is what gets you in the door. If a girl's not attracted to you, it doesn't matter how good your personality is because she's not going to get to that point. And it's the same thing for us guys. If we don't find a girl physically attractive, we're not going to go up and talk to her. We're not going to go up and risk rejection and put our balls on the line out there to go talk with her if it's not worthwhile to us. So how do we test for mutual physical attraction? So the way I do this is cold approaching. If you don't know, cold approaching is initiating an interaction with a girl in person without having any prior interaction or conversation with her. Walking up to a girl you've never spoken to before and talking to her and asking for a phone number or asking her out on a date. You're going in cold, which is where the name comes from because there's no warm-up. And this is the best way to test for mutual physical attraction because obviously the girl you go up to, that you walk up to, you're gonna find physically attractive. But you find out if she finds you attractive enough within seconds. If you think about those 3-month talking stages you get in with a girl, like when you're talking to her on Snapchat or Instagram and you're trying to work your way up to making a move and just trying to make conversation, get her to like you. You're wasting months of time and effort and BS going on in your head, worrying, anxiety, stress about it for a girl who might not even like you, for a girl who might not even find you physically attractive in the first place. But with cold approaching, you find out within seconds if this girl is attracted to you. And it's because it's instantly polarizing. Polarizing means it puts a girl in a position where she has to either choose to show interest, to reciprocate interest, or to reject you. And that happens in the first second of a cold approach because she has to choose, am I gonna talk to this fucking random guy or am I gonna just walk away, which does happen. And then furthermore, once you get into the conversation and then you ask for a phone number, she has to choose, am I gonna give this guy my phone number or am I just gonna reject him? She's forced to make a choice. She's forced to either choose you or reject you. Whereas online, when you're talking to girls online or you're trying to get in these talking stages, you're going months without having a definitive answer as to whether or not she likes you. And this is what separates the few guys from the majority, because this cold approaching, because it's polarizing, because you could and will get rejected. It's not for the faint of heart. It's difficult, it's uneasy. That's why it's so rare nowadays in our generation when you can go and talk to a girl online and be able to hide behind a screen and not use any real life confidence or social skills. But it is a numbers game. Eventually, if you just put in enough numbers, you will get a yes, and you'll probably get one faster than you think. I remember when I first started out cold approaching and I was like lowest of my, dating market value, least attractive I was, I fucking bad hair, pale, skinny, socially awkward, was stuttering my words, was like legs shaking while walking up to a girl. I still it shocked me how much early success I got. The second cold approach I successfully got the girl's phone number, and the third one I successfully got a date out of it. So you will eventually get a yes, you will eventually get a girl who gives you her phone number, but it filters out all the girls who aren't physically attracted to you. There is some nuance to this though. Some girls will just give out their phone number. Some girls will they'll feel bad for you, they just want to get out the situation, or they say, oh, why not, and then later they're not really interested. And that does happen, that's completely normal. But if you get a girl's phone number and turns out she's not interested in you, she doesn't text you back, so what? You just got the experience out of that. You got the experience of pushing yourself through your anxiety. You got the experience and the learning of how to speak. You're getting like little XP points every single time you cold approach a girl. And so when the next time you cold approach a girl and she is physically attracted to you, you're going to come across as more attractive because you're more confident. You have more social skills because of that previous experience. And you save so much time. Like, okay, yeah, you get a girl's phone number and she doesn't text you back. Okay, so what? Then you have the other girls that you cold approach and you text them. I really do think cold approaching is a cheat code to dating in our generation because of so many people being online and being stuck in these 2, 3 month, 4 month talking stages which are just going nowhere because guys are too afraid to make a move. I really do think cold approaching is the antidote to all of that. And I do think it's the easiest way to success. If you're looking for step-by-step help with cold approaching and overcoming your anxiety and knowing what to say and how to act, you can click my top link in my description to see my program. Stage 2 is interest compatibility. After cold approaching and finding girls who are physically attracted to us, from that few second to 1 minute, few minute interaction, we can now find out who's actually interested. And I do this just by texting the girl 1 or 2 days after you got her phone number, and texting her with the sole purpose of planning a date or planning an in-person interaction. Because yeah, some girls might just give you their phone number just for shits and giggles, but with this, you find out who is reciprocating effort and pursuit. And you might be tempted to get stuck in that, social media talking stage, like I was talking about before, with getting her phone number and then just talking with her endlessly because it's free attention. But you have to understand, you're just putting off the moment where you ask her out, the moment where she could say yes, where she could say no. And based on her answer, when you ask her out, you're gonna find out really quick if she's really interested in you or not. Because she's either gonna, say yes and be like, excited about it, or wanting to plan with you, or like helping you say like which days work for her and which days won't. Or she's either just gonna say flat out no. She's gonna say, oh, actually I have a boyfriend, even though I gave you my phone number, which does happen sometimes. Or she's gonna play the excuse game, which, sometimes might be real, sometimes might be legitimate, but it's just an easy way for them to reject you without, being too mean, which you should take as her being polite if that does happen. And if you're thinking that, like just meeting a girl and then like 1 or 2 days later, like trying to plan a date with her, if you think that's too soon, you'd be surprised, man. Like the thing with cold approaching is that it allows for quicker dates. It allows to go on dates faster because you're approaching from in person, and in person there's more trust there almost. She can see how you look like in real life. It's not like it's on Instagram or Snapchat. She can see how you look like in real life. She can see how you act, how you carry yourself, how you spoke with her, your confidence, your social skills. And of course, those things are all things that can be built up over time through experience and through the right training. But she can see who you really are. And because cold approaching is so out of the ordinary in our generation because of everyone being online, it allows for your next actions to be more out of the ordinary too. Because a cold approach is such a moment, because it cuts through a girl's daily routine. It creates momentum for her to be more likely to go on a date with you or go spend time with you afterwards. And again, dude, you will never know unless you try. You can play the long game. You can play the game where you're just waiting there, texting her, trying to get her to like you more and more before it's almost a certainty that she likes you, so you don't have to risk that rejection. But one, we know that's never going to happen. It's always going to be some type of risk when you make a move and ask a girl out. But two, why play that game? Why play that game when you can play the cold approaching game? When you can play the game of being bold, being upfront, being honest and open, and saying what you want. But if you do think it is too fast and you're worrying about the girl might thinking it's too fast, you don't have to ask her on a full-on date. It should be an in-person interaction, but you can bring down the stakes a bit by making it a walk in the park, or going to get coffee together, or if you met her at the gym, for example, you can ask her to do a workout with you at the gym, go at the same time. But just go for it, and you'll be surprised at how many girls are willing to say yes. And at the end of the day, you're going to find out who's willing to put in the effort toward you as well. So stage 3 is core compatibility. So now that we're on the date, now that we know the girl is physically attracted to us and we're physically attracted to her, now that we know that she's willing to put in interest as well, she's willing to put in the effort and pursuit to go on a date with us. Now on the date, we want to find out if our cores are aligned. We want to test for the alignment of our personality, values, interests, and see if we would make a good long-term fit with each other. And the way I did this was through authenticity. Authenticity means, in the dating context, to essentially show up as your real self, expressing your genuine interests, values, personality. And authenticity filters for core compatibility. Because if you show up as yourself, your personality, and what you're interested in, what your goals are in your life, what matters to you, what's important to you, that is extremely polarizing to a girl. In the same way that asking a girl for a phone number or asking her out on a date is polarizing, it forces her to either choose, like, okay, am I interested in this kind of thing as well? Do I like this kind of personality? Do I share some of these values or desires or goals? Or do I not like this? Am I unattracted to this? And a girl who isn't compatible with you, a girl who's not compatible with your interests and your values and this and that, she's not going to be attracted to your authentic self. And that's a good thing. That means that if she's not attracted to your authentic self, who you really are and what actually matters to you, that means she's not a good fit for you. And she's only going to bring your quality of life downward. And if you're a guy who's desperate for the attention and validation and intimacy with a woman, and you're suffering from loneliness, then you're not going to want to accept that. You're not going to want to act like who you really are. Your natural intuition is to act like somebody else, to try to form yourself and act and conduct yourself in a way that you think will be attracted to the girl that you're with. And that's understandable. But you have to remember something. If you're with a girl who's unattracted to your authentic self, and she's attracted to a persona that you're putting on, she does not like you, and you do not like her. Because think about it, do you like people who are unattracted to you? You might like their looks, but you don't like them as people. You wouldn't want to spend time with them. You might like their looks and their physical appearance, and you might want to spend time with them because of that anyway. But imagine that's like imagine your eyes are closed, man, and you have to deal with this person every single day, a person who's unattracted to who you really are, and who does not like the things you like, who is not on the same life path as you, whose personality does not mesh with you. Not only is that missing the benefits of a high quality, long lasting relationship, it's actively deteriorating your life. And furthermore, being with someone in a relationship who you can't be yourself in front of, that is real loneliness. Real loneliness is having people around you, having people you're supposed to be close with, who you can't even be honest to, who you can't express what you really want in life, who you can't express to the things that are keeping you up when you're trying to go to sleep, the things that are like fucking, the things that are on your mind while other people are talking, that's keeping you stuck in your head. Like, that loneliness is a formidable foe. I'll say that, man. And so if you act with authenticity on this date, and you talk about the things that are important to you in your life, and you set boundaries, and you're willing to reject this girl even if she's pushing past what you're personally comfortable with, that will put her in a position to either lose interest if she's not attracted to your authentic self, or it will keep and accelerate the attraction that she has for you if she's compatible with your values and interests and personality. And so coming out the other side of this funnel, once we have a girl who goes through each stage of this funnel, who we take through each stage, and she comes out the end successfully. She was physically attracted to us, she reciprocated interest in us, and she was aligned with us in terms of interest, goal, values, and personality. Then it's fair to say that she's reasonably compatible with you for a relationship. And compatibility is essential for a genuine connection, for a long-lasting, high-quality relationship. There's nothing worse than being with a girl, being stuck in a relationship with a girl who annoys you all the time when you go out with her, who you're embarrassed to go out with because of the way that she acts and speaks and the things that she says. Or a girl who just simply is on a different life path, who has different goals, who has different values than you, and who you can't connect with, who you can't bond with, who you can't talk about the things that you're interested in with. Not only is it a waste of time to be with someone who you're not compatible with, because it's not gonna last in the long run, but it actively brings you down. It actively takes you away from your goals, from your interests, from who you are. And to sustain it, you're forced to act inauthentically, to act dishonestly, and try to be someone who you are not. And there's nothing worse for your soul, for your spirit, for your mental health than lying about who you are and what you want constantly. And so compatibility is essential. If you want to learn more about this and get step-by-step help to attract a high-quality girl and start a long-lasting relationship, then click the top link in my description and see my program. Peace out.